Hey everybody, it's your new favorite YouTube personality, JuiceMan3941. This is episode 19 of the Gaming Roundtable. Hey, welcome. I want to first of all give a shout out to my 3 subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. Tell your friends, get some more people subscribing, because I'd like to get a few more people watching my videos. Today's episode is basically called Grasping for Straws, and as you can see, I have Destiny loaded up. About ready to go to the tower, grab some bounties, working on my level 26 Titan. You know, I played through the April update, seen some of the stuff they've done, and I have to say that, Bungie, and again, I'm not going to just completely criticize them, because there are other game companies doing this, we'll talk about that here in a little bit. It's funny how these game companies seem to be grasping for straws. Bungie in particular. I don't think Bungie really has a real, honest-to-God game plan. I know that they touted this $500 million 10-year plan for Destiny. We're about a third of a way through that as it is. And, excuse me, it's funny to me because I really feel that Destiny in particular, especially after playing through this April update, and checking out, what they offered in the update, they really just don't have and pardon my language, a fucking clue about what the hell they want to do with this game. Now, I know you're saying, well, wait a minute, is that even fair? Is that really even fair? Yes, it's damn fair. It's completely fair. Because it's a good point of view when you stop and think about it. Right now they're kind of in between, going into this next sequel and trying to figure out what to do with that. But that's right, High Moon Studios is doing the sequel. Bungie is not. They're only supervising. So completely different companies working on the sequel. And that is kind of where I feel like this is a really misstep on their part. Because they really just don't need to do that. And they really should make the game and not outsource it to another company. And no offense to High Moon, High Moon Studios, creators of Transformers Fall of Cybertron and War of Cybertron, and I believe Rise of the Dark Spark, and they also did Dark of the Moon. That's all they've made, pretty much, is Transformers games for the last 4 years. But you're gonna do Destiny 2? Really? It probably won't be called Destiny 2. It'll probably be called Destiny with some kind of subtitle, Rise of the Darkness, or some bullshit like that. Overused words like Rise or Resurrection or some bullshit. Anyway, here's what I have to say about that. So, I'm just walking around here doing some Destiny play, and again, the Destiny community is very, very strong. And very supportive of this game, even when Bungie does stuff that kind of makes you go scratch your head and go what the fuck, man, really? Having said all that, let's talk about what some of the things the April update did. So people who have not played the April update yet, or are just getting into Destiny, let me tell you what they did. So they added these armor pieces called chroma armor, that allows you to activate a glowing shader like yellow or blue or white or red. There's only 5 colors. Well, okay, so, they're wanting to try to offer more customization, for your characters. That's why they want to do this color. And it's just glowing colors. It's not like it actually changes the color. It just makes your armor glow in sections in different ways. Which to me is okay, well, I get it. You're trying to give us something, but this is how you come up with it, really? And there's specific colors. They're literally okay, well, this glows yellow. You can deactivate it, reactivate it if you find another yellow, but it only is going to glow yellow. Instead of just saying, why can't I just have an armor and I can put whatever chroma shader glowing thing I want in it, An armor that you can infuse a blue color or a red color or a yellow color or, the colors that are available. But you didn't do that. They are very specific colors, which makes you say, okay, well, if they're very specific in color, what if I don't want the gauntlets yellow? Of course, you don't have to use them, but you could have just made it to where you could put any color into it. That would not have been hard, but you didn't do that. Again, savagely, as I say, curtailing our ability to really customize, our characters. Um, I have to have that specific color, even if I don't want it. I'm stuck with it. Sorry, you're screwed. And I think that's just the wrong approach. And granted, yes, it's nice that they actually did include. Now I've actually picked up some blues, non-legendary weapons and armor that actually are above the normal 280, mode. You're getting 300 and things like that. It's nice. It's nice to be able to get 300, light level without having to do the raid or needing raid set gear to do it. I'm glad that they did update Prison of Elders and put in, better, uh, gear and loot and different things like that. But Prison of Elders didn't really change. It just increased the level. I didn't find it any harder than the standard, Prison of Elders that was already out there. I really didn't find it any more difficult. It was essentially the same stuff, and they were supposed to be more challenging, and in no way, shape, or form, it really was not. And it's kind of one of those things that, I hate to be criticizing of it, but it just didn't feel like it much had changed in it. Um, Now, granted, it was nice that they tried to tell the tale of Moloch or whatever, who is trying to become the next Taken King. You gave us one story mission, and then you got to collect these taken like shard things, which is like 20 of them, which is easy to do. Um, I mean, it's easy as all get out. Just go with the dreadnought real fast and do it. It's not even hard. It's only 20 of them. That's easy to accomplish. And then you turn around and you turn around and then you go talk to, Varix and Eris, and then she opens up this strike that you have to do. And the strike's not even hard because they actually made it a level 36 strike instead of making it hard, and then you're done. That's pretty much what was added, The update to armor and weapons. Yes, New Monarchy and all of them have the same weapons and armor you normally have, except they do, when you do rank them up, they do offer you different armors and weapons. I don't know. I just feel like that for what they added, it's nice that they did try to add something, but I think they're grasping for straws. I don't think they know what else to do. I really feel like they have hit a wall when it comes to Destiny. This not a shared world shooter, but an open world, slightly open world MMO. This is basically what they've boiled down to. I think it's sad that this is all we got, and I think this is all they have. I don't think they know what else to do, outside of increasing the light level and weapons and stuff. We already have established their RNG system is not real randomized loot, but it's just pre-existing loot behind a number generator. There's only so many legendary auto rifles and blue auto rifles and green auto rifles and white auto rifles. That's it. And so the loot, while is interesting, it's a lot of variances on the theme, as I've always talked about. And, I am a Destiny player. I've been playing Destiny since it came out. The gameplay is what holds it up, but I don't feel like Bungie, they're grasping for straws. They don't know what else to do to this game or what they need to add to the game. I think they are outsourcing part 2 to High Moon Studios because I think they don't want to work on it. I think they're done. I don't think they know what else to do or add to the game. It's like your in-game, while there are things to do, it's still shallower than other games of the type with an in-game. And, it makes you wonder. It just goes, do they know even what the hell they're doing? Your April update was nothing more than one story mission and a strike that was set at level 36 when all of us are well beyond that level. All of us are. We're like way beyond that. And it was easy. I mean, over and done in just a few minutes. This is what you did. This is your big April update. I just don't feel like you all know what you're doing anymore. You know, you just you don't. I hate to say that in the grand scheme of things, but I really feel like that's the case here. You're not sure where you want to take the game. You're not sure, you know, what you want to do with the game. I think that's the truth. I think you all are grasping for straws. You're kind of going like, okay, well, there's got to be something more we can do in this game, and you're just like, what can we add? What can we do? And I think they're tired. I really feel that way. I think Bungie, the next update, whenever it might be, they may not even do any more updates for it, for all I know, which wouldn't surprise me. And that's kind of where I feel like, you all just don't know what exactly you want to do with the game anymore. I almost feel like they're tired of trying to figure that out. And I really feel that way. And I hate to say that, but I feel like that's the truth. I don't see them doing much more to the game. Um, I think they have hit a brick wall. It's for terms of creativity and what they need to do. Yes, could they add more customization options for face and hair and stuff? Sure, they could do that. But, they could do something in a tower where you have your own room and you can, like, change your hairstyle or some features. That would be nice because that happens in I don't know how many daggone games. That should be something that is in there, but is not. And it's just silly to me because you think they would try something that other lesser games have done a great deal of stuff with. Um, again, it's not a stab at Bungie so much as is a stab at the fact that I believe their creative ran out of steam. The April update is nice, but they made so many mistakes in it. It's like, wow, I just saw everything to do in the April update, an hour and 15 to 20 minutes. That's it. That's it. I'm done. There's nothing else for me to really do in it. It was quick, fun, and over with before I really, and there's that. And I think if you're a Destiny player and supporter and community, we deserve better, Bungie. I mean, granted, the grasping at straws, they're not the only one. Look at Assassin's Creed. I mean, yes, Syndicate was a better version from Ubisoft than anything Unity ever put out, but they borrowed so much from Batman, now you got a grappling hook. It's like, oh, cool, you added a grappling hook. Well, great. I'm glad that you added a grappling hook. It made traversing much more easier to do. But at the same time, it makes you wonder. You're just kind of like, uh, it just makes me think from a that point of view that you're there again. They didn't really do much as far as terms as gameplay is concerned. I really feel like that Syndicate, while a better game than Unity, didn't really offer anything new. They add one or two new things, and then they tell you basically this is new shit. None of it's really new, It's just the things that they do to make you think that it's a new thing, and there's not. I think Assassin's Creed is grasping for straws, personally. That's my personal opinion. I really feel that way. I don't feel like the game is where it needs to be. And it hasn't been for a long time. I don't think they really know what to do with Assassin's Creed. They've already dropped the main storyline about about the Animus and all this stuff. That stuff's long since been done. That doesn't even show up anymore. They've literally decided to say hell with the story and we'll just do everything in the past. And so it's kind of like, again, these companies, franchises, whether the franchise has been out for a little bit or a long time, they're grasping at straws. They really don't know what to do. People's been screaming and hollering for an Assassin's Creed. To be honest with you, a YouTube community, to take place in feudal Japan. That's a perfect place with samurai and ninja and stuff. But you see, they're not really doing that. They're not really trying to do that. And I don't know. For me, it's kind of like, why are they not listening to their audience? Destiny, I know I'm a big fan of the game, and yes, I am critical of the game because I've been playing it for a long time. But everything that I'm talking about this game is 100% true. It's not just my opinion. This is the opinion of a lot of YouTube people and the Destiny community. They're just grasping for straws. They don't really know what else to do in the game, and that's, I know that sounds kind of like you'd think that they would be more creative, but to be honest with you, they're really not. And it's a shame because you would think that they would know what they were doing. I think they really don't. I think they're at a point they're like, guys, what else are we gonna do in Destiny? I don't know. What can we do? There's a lot of stuff they could do that would fundamentally change the game for the better, but the unfortunate happenstance is they would have to rewrite a lot of the source code and redo a whole lot of stuff, which takes a lot of time, man hours, and money, and they're not willing to do that. It doesn't really matter that Destiny is paid for. It's the fact that Bungie is like, no, we're not, no. I mean, again, I still am trying to figure out why they have decided that Destiny 2, or the sequel to Destiny, which will allow us to use the characters we have now in the game, is changing to is being changed hands. They're giving it to another studio that has never done a game like this. They've never done first person. They've never done MMO. They've done none of that stuff. So it was amateur night to begin with Bungie. This has been established. Bungie said a month after launch, we knew we had to change the light level because the way the light levels work, we knew was broken. We should have had a traditional leveling system, and it took them nearly a year to figure out how they were going to able to change that. How do we change that? They didn't really even know. And then they figured out how to do it by rewriting the source code with the Taken King and all that stuff. And again, it's not that it's not just the fact. I just feel like they're just grasping at straws. And a lot of companies are doing this of late, especially the big companies. They are literally grasping for straws. I don't think they even know what exactly they're doing. And I think at one time, maybe they did, but I don't really feel that is the case. I think the direction of Destiny is showing such a small jump in what they really want to do in the game versus what they need to do. And I think they're really personally tired of honest to God, like working on it. That's kind of my theory. I think it's a correct theory because the way that we've seen the April update was a welcome addition, but it was very limp, in my opinion. Very, very limp. Did not have enough to it. You're talking about this character, this powerful character, Malak or whatever, who is trying to become the new Taken King, and he basically is, you made, instead of making him seem menacing or tough, he's like, it's a level 36 strike, and he's a total fucking pushover. And he's not hard at all to deal with. And I'm just kind of like, that's crazy, How can you just, add something new to the story and he's a cool character. I mean, honest to God, and I like the design, but at the same time, I feel like there just wasn't enough there. I feel like he's still kind of a weak character, even though his design was really cool. Again, I feel like Destiny, is grasping for straws. Bungie is. Ubisoft is doing the same thing with Assassin's Creed. They keep just giving us more and more historical stuff. We were in Paris and then we're in London. I like the idea that they did an expansion that lets you try to stop and hunt down Jack the Ripper. Again, that's really interesting. But it's like they're stuck kind of wanting to do everything in England for right now. And Assassin's Creed could go 100 different ways, and they just the series has got to the point where they are just adding a little bit here and there and renaming here and there and calling it a new game and hoping that it sells. They're grasping for straws. They really don't know how to reinvigorate their series. Bungie's having the same problem with Destiny. And it's no different from BioWare. BioWare's Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, the in-game was very weak. And yes, they've done some expansions here and there, and yes, it has a following, but it's still very weak. I don't think they really know exactly what they want to do with the series. And again, I go back to this game. I really feel like they really don't know what they want to do with the series, generally speaking, in my opinion. And it is my opinion, so I could be wrong, generally speaking. But, like I said, I've been playing Destiny since it came out, and you see what they've done with the April update, and it just again, it feels very weak. I don't feel like that the game, there's not enough in this April update. I had everything pretty much done in an hour and 15 to 20 minutes. That's it. Do I want to keep playing? Because the gameplay holds it up, but there's really no other reason to, for me to get excited for it. The Taken King expansion was such a fundamental shift in the game. It was so awesome to see what they did and to have this long kind of new story and the Dreadnought and this and that. But we still don't know if the Queen survived. There's still a lot of unresolved story shit that I was looking at when I was thinking about the game. Like, they show the cinema and the Queen's ship gets sliced in half, but you're just kind of like, okay, well, what else? Why didn't they explain what happened to the Queen? Why don't we have a cinema where maybe she's unconscious? We get to see, and you don't see any of this. Bungie continues to drop the ball when it comes to the story. And again, this is not about just harping on Bungie, because like I said, Ubisoft does this all the time. I think Activision and the publishers of Call of Duty does the same thing. They keep adding little bit of things here and there and hoping that it works. I'm still shocked that Activision and Infinity Ward and Treyarch and them, they're making Ghost 2. Your next Call of Duty is Ghost 2, knowing that Ghost 1 was the most critically panned of the series. And you're actually willing to make another Ghosts? Well, are you going to try to make amends? If there's going to be no wall running or double jumping, it's not future and it's regular. It's almost, again, they're grasping for straws. Like, they don't know what to do with their games. This is why the middle market is so important, people. And yes, I did a middle market video, but I'm going to mention it again because it's important to understand that the middle market is what drives the industry. Right? Not the AAA titles. It's the middle market that has the smaller budgets, right? And they have the ability to create these new IPs that come out and offer something very different in the ways of roleplay or shooting and all of that. I'm very much looking forward, by the way, to Homefront: The Revolution. It's an open world co-op experience, non-competitive multiplayer first-person shooter sequel to Homefront. I'm looking forward to it because it will be different. It's not going to be the same old, same old. There's nothing for the studio to lose. They can try lots of new ideas and different things and get away with it. I'm very been playing the Doom beta, as you've seen me do in my video the other day, the night before, and it's like I'm so looking forward to that because its feel is so different than everything else out there. I would consider Doom, yes, it's a franchise, but it only releases, ever so often. It's been many years since we've had a Doom, um, and I always regretted not getting 3. And when I think about that, it's kind of like, wow, this is one of those things. And when I think about these companies that are grasping for straws, I think a lot of them out there really don't know what to do or offer up. I even would go so far as to say that DICE is in a similar position with Battlefield as Activision, um, the publisher, as Treyarch and Infinity Ward are as well. They're in a predicament. They're keeping so much stuff the similar. They don't really know how to change the game for the better because they're so afraid of upsetting the communities that no one would buy them. But consistently, Call of Duty has slowly but surely, while still, like for example, uh, Black Ops, for example, I think it was Black Ops 2 was the biggest selling game of that year in 2014, if memory serves. But it was still 43% down in sales from Modern Warfare 3. That's crazy that they've had that many diminishing returns. And that number, by the way, is courtesy of B Dobbins for your win. Thanks, B Dobbins, for that. FTW, check out his channel. He's one of my favorite people on the YouTube community side. Very Call of Duty passionate. But here's the thing. So, a lot of companies are grasping for straws. And it's really sad because when I know you've seen me have videos in here of Evolve, and I'm talking about, Turtle Rock Studios. Evolve is a very different type of game. It's an asymmetrical shooter. But at the same time, they weren't grasping for straws. They had a clear idea what they wanted to do, knowing that it may or may not be successful. I think Turtle Rock wasn't sure if people would embrace that idea. And these are the companies you want to actually play their games because they are going to offer you a new and or different experience. Now, I do, like I said, love Destiny. I find the gameplay solid. I love the design of everything. I think the game in itself is really well designed, but I don't think Bungie really knows what else they want to do with the game. I really feel like they're a little lost when it comes to what all more can we do to the game. Because I don't believe there's going to be any update. It's already April. We're into second quarter. I don't believe there's going to be any more updates for this game. I don't, and if there is, I would be surprised. Because at some point, Destiny 2 has to come out. They know, because people will quit playing this game. Destiny already has diminishing numbers. Just like Assassin's Creed has diminishing sales and numbers of people who want to play the game. Because of the fact that they're not doing that much different things with the title. And I think these companies out there are grasping for straws, trying to figure out, what to do next. They're so afraid to change anything on a major end because they feel like, well, if we do that, then people won't buy it, and or they'll stop playing it. And then at the same time, I think they kind of want to change, but they don't really but they don't really know how. And the whole grasping for straws thing, I feel like is what's happened with not just these companies, but companies like Konami. That was once a very big mover and shaker in the game industry. I think Capcom has done the same thing. And they're grasping for straws, throwing anything at the wall to see what sticks without really listening to the communities, the gaming community out there, seeing what they want. Now, a word from our sponsor. Today's episode of Gaming Roundtable is brought to you by Beer in the Throat. Thank you, sponsor. Anyway, I know I'm a little bit more subdued tonight. It's been a long couple days. But, the Juice Man 3941 is here giving you these issues, talking about the tough stuff and calling out these companies. And I hope that you are watching the video and understand where I'm coming from. If you feel like they're grasping for straws, please comment. Tell me how you feel about it, whether you agree or disagree. Remember, these are only my opinions. And like assholes, everyone's got one. And, tell me if you feel like that these companies are grasping for straws. They don't really want to know what to do with their game or their franchise at this point. They're not really sure exactly how to proceed. If you're just tuning in, this is episode 19 of the Gaming Roundtable, grasping for straws, talking about companies who're not sure where they need to go with the direction of their games. Anyway, I'll leave you YouTube community people with this. Ubisoft, EA, Bungie, and Activision. You are some of the big publishers out there for these games. Activision and EA in particular being two of the largest companies as far as game publishing there is. Activision is number one over EA, by the way. Number one and number two. You really need to start taking chances, because I'm not looking forward to the sequel to this game that you're seeing on my screen right now, Destiny. What I'm looking forward to is the next Deus Ex, which is going to be a superior title. And yes, it's Ubisoft Montreal, which is a little bit different studio from the main studios. It's a splinter studio. And because Deus Ex Human Revolution in 2011 was probably, it wasn't even probably, to be honest, in my opinion, was the best game that came out that year. Hands down. Nothing could beat it. Nothing could touch it as far as my opinion is concerned. I'm looking forward to Lichdom Battle Mage. I'm looking forward to Technomancer. I'm looking forward to No Man's Sky. I'm actually more interested in what the middle market has to offer. Even Battleborn, I played the beta, and yes, it's sort of an online MOBA in a way, and all the characters are interesting and stuff. I find it funny how the story mode, when you play through what's available in the beta, was kind of set up like Borderlands. When a boss showed up, it was like it had a name, and it did the whole, it comes out and it's slow mo, and I'm like, it's like too much of what they've already done before. Even though the gameplay is different, it really kind of felt like just another version of Borderlands, just a little bit different than what Borderlands is set up for. And I'm looking to these middle market companies, these middle market games, putting out the games that I'm actually most excited about. Bungie, Activision as a publisher, EA as a publisher, Bungie as a developer, Ubisoft as a developer. You've got to try to stop giving us the same old. Stop grasping for straws. Reach out to the community and let us know, and let us tell you what we would like to see. Take a chance, because not taking chances and giving the same old SSDD stuff day in and day out is no way to handle. It's no way to handle your business. Give us something new and exciting, and not just a little piddly update here and a little bit there to tide us over, because it makes it look like that you really don't know what you're doing, that our money does not belong in your hands. Anyway, feel free to comment. I am the Juice Man 3941 signing off for episode 19 of the Gaming Roundtable, and as always, gamers, good gaming.